Welcome to another deep dive with us. This time, we're going deep into Hindu mythology. We're going to untangle an intricate web of family trees and power dynamics, all described in the Vishnu Purana. Think Game of Thrones, but with gods, demons, and creatures you probably never even heard of.
That's right. We're essentially working with a Sanskrit text excerpt. So get ready to meet the offspring of Kashyapa, a key figure in Hindu cosmology.
Okay.
We're talking sons, daughters, grandkids. The family reunions must have been epic.
Exactly. We'll break it down into who's related to whom, what their deal is, and why they matter in the grand scheme of Hindu stories. Kashyapa, he's like the ultimate patriarch. Seriously, this guy fathered gods and demons and serpents and birds. Talk about a diverse portfolio.
Well, yeah. Kashyapa plays a crucial role in understanding the interconnectedness of different beings in Hindu mythology. His wives gave birth to a variety of beings, highlighting the diversity of creation.
So let's dive into some specifics here. What kind of beings are we talking about? Who are these children of Kashyapa?
Well, from his wife Danu, you have the Danavas. They're often portrayed as powerful antagonistic forces, your classic demonic figures.
Ah, so the bad guys.
Well, it's not that simple. The Danavas represent chaos, disruption, but even chaos plays a role in the cosmic dance.
Okay, so there's nuance even in the demonic side of things. What about the good guys?
From a Diti, Kashyapa fathers the Adityas, the gods. They embody order, righteousness, uphold cosmic law.
Okay, I'm starting to see a pattern here. Like the Vishnu Purana is setting up this fundamental duality. Order versus chaos, good versus evil, constantly playing off each other.
Exactly. And the text does not shy away from exploring this tension.
Give me an example.
Well, consider the story of Indra, the king of the gods. He destroys the fetus of Diti, who is carrying a potential threat to his power.
Whoa, that's intense. That's not exactly your typical bedtime story.
It highlights how even the gods, who represent order, are capable of ruthless actions to maintain that order.
It raises the question, is it truly good if it requires that kind of force? It blurs the lines a bit, doesn't it?
And that's the beauty of these stories. They make you think and question and grapple with these complex concepts.
Okay, so we've got gods and demons. Who else is in Kashyapa's extended family?
From Kadru, we get the Nagas, powerful serpent beings associated with water and the underworld. They're often portrayed as both fearsome and wise.
Serpents. Now things are getting interesting. Do they interact with the other offspring?
Oh, definitely. There's a natural enmity between the Nagas and Garuda. Garuda, the king of birds, who's also a son of Kashyapa, born to his wife Finata.
Garuda, that name rings a bell. Isn't he Vishnu's mount?
Just precisely. The text we have highlights this connection, describing Garuda as a fearsome predator and, interestingly enough, a devourer of serpents.
Okay, so we're not just talking about a family tree here. It's like a complex web of relationships and power struggles and rivalries that mirror the dynamics of the universe itself.
You're getting it. The Vishnu Purana uses this familial structure to explore these grand cosmic themes. It's not just about who begat whom, but about understanding the interconnectedness and interplay of different forces that shape reality.
And speaking of forces shaping reality, the source mentions Brahma appointing various beings as rulers of different realms. We have Tandra ruling over plants, and Yajna, Kubera over kings, Varuna over waters. It's like a cosmic org chart.
It's a great analogy. This framework of appointed rulers emphasizes the idea of a universe that is ordered, with designated roles and a hierarchy that, in theory, maintains balance.
But if everything traces back to Kashyapa, and he's the one fathering all these beings, where does Brahma fit into this equation?
Well, that's where it gets even more interesting. The source explicitly states that even these powerful rulers, even Brahma himself, are ultimately extensions of Vishnu.
Okay, hold on. So we've gone from Kashyapa as the ultimate patriarch to Vishnu being the even ultimator source. It's like a cosmic game of who's the boss.
You could say that. This idea of Vishnu as the source, the ultimate reality from which everything emanates, is at the very core of the Vishnu Purana. It's less about power struggles and more about understanding these various figures, including Brahma and Kashyapa, as different expressions of a single unifying force.
So it's not just about gods and demons battling it out for supremacy. There's a deeper philosophical layer here.
Precisely. And that's what makes exploring these texts so fascinating. We're not just uncovering mythological stories. We're getting glimpses into how people thousands of years ago grappled with profound questions about the nature of existence itself.
I'm already starting to feel a little more enlightened just by talking about this. And to think, we're just scratching the surface of this one family tree.
It's a testament to the richness and depth of Hindu mythology. There's so much more to unpack here.
Well, I'm definitely ready to keep unpacking. Where do we go from here? What other fascinating threads are waiting to be pulled?
Let's shift our focus from the family tree itself to the philosophical implications of this idea of Vishnu as the source. It's a concept that challenges our typical notions of good and evil, order and chaos.
So we've established that Vishnu is like the ultimate source in this cosmic drama, but what does that actually mean for how we understand the universe?
It suggests a profound shift in perspective. We're not looking at a world of separate independent entities, but rather a tapestry woven from a single divine thread.
Okay, but how does that play out in the stories themselves? Does the Vishnu Purana give us any concrete examples of this emanation in action?
Absolutely. Remember that story of Indra destroying Diti's fetus?
Yeah.
On the surface, it seems like a brutal power play. But when you view it through the lens of emanation, it takes on a whole new layer of meaning.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Walk me through it.
Okay. Indra, as king of the gods, represents a certain aspect of cosmic order. Diti's unborn child, destined to be powerful, represents a potential challenge to that order.
Okay.
Both forces, however, emanate from Vishnu, embodying different aspects of his divine essence.
So it's not just a good guy versus bad guy situation. It's more like different facets of the same divine energy coming into conflict.
Precisely. The conflict arises from the interplay of these forces. It's almost like witnessing the internal tensions within Vishnu himself playing out on a cosmic scale.
Wow. That's a pretty mind-blowing way to look at it. It makes you realize that even the seemingly negative aspects of existence have a role to play in this grand scheme.
Exactly. The Vishnu Purana suggests that creation itself requires this dynamic interplay of opposing forces. It's through this tension that the universe evolves and unfolds.
So instead of trying to eradicate evil, the goal becomes understanding its role in the bigger picture.
You could say that.
Yeah.
It's about recognizing the interconnectedness of everything, even those elements that we might find unpleasant or challenging.
This brings up another big question. If everything comes from Vishnu, does that mean our choices don't really matter? Are we just puppets dancing to the tune of some divine plan?
That's a question that has been debated for centuries, and the Vishnu Purana offers a nuanced perspective. While it emphasizes the ultimate source of all beings in Vishnu, it also highlights the importance of human agency.
So we're not just along for the ride.
Not at all. We have the ability to make choices, to act in ways that either align with or disrupt cosmic harmony. The text introduces the concept of dharma, which is often translated as duty or righteous conduct. It suggests that each of us has a unique role to play in upholding the cosmic order.
Okay, so it's not about sitting back and letting fate decide everything. We have a responsibility to make choices that contribute to the greater good. But how do we know what those choices are? How do we figure out what our own personal dharma is?
That's where things get really interesting. The Vishnu Purana, like many Hindu scriptures, offers multiple pathways for discovering one's dharma. Some believe it's predetermined by factors like birth, caste, or family lineage. Others emphasize the importance of self-reflection, intuition, and observing your natural inclinations and talents.
So it's not a one-size-fits-all kind of thing. There's room for individual interpretation and exploration.
Absolutely. It's about engaging in an ongoing process of self-discovery, seeking guidance from wise teachers and scriptures, and ultimately trusting your inner compass.
So Dharma isn't just about following a rigid set of rules. It's about aligning your actions with a deeper sense of purpose and understanding your place in the grand scheme of things.
Exactly. And the beauty of it is that Dharma isn't static. It can evolve and change as we grow and learn. What might be considered righteous conduct in one stage of life might look different in another.
It's a relief to hear that. It takes some of the pressure off, knowing that we don't have to have everything figured out perfectly from the start.
Right. It's about embracing the journey, the continual process of self-discovery and refinement. And the Vishnu Purana offers a wealth of stories and insights to guide us along the way.
You know, it's easy to get caught up in the fantastical elements of these stories, the gods and the demons and the epic battles. But what's really striking me is how the Vishnu Purana weaves together these captivating narratives with profound philosophical concepts.
It's a brilliant approach. The stories capture our imagination and draw us in, while the underlying messages challenge us to think deeply about the nature of reality, our place in the universe, and how to live a meaningful life.
It's like they understood that entertainment and enlightenment don't have to be mutually exclusive.
Exactly. And that's a lesson we could all learn from.
So as we continue this deep dive into the Vishnu Purana, are there other examples of this fusion of storytelling and philosophical insight that we can explore? I'm eager to see how these ideas play out in different contexts within the text.
There are countless examples, but one that particularly stands out, given our discussion about Vishnu as the source, is the way the text describes his adornments and weapons.
Wait, his adornments and weapons, what do those have to do with emanation and dharma?
Everything. The Vishnu Purana doesn't simply present these objects as accessories. They're imbued with symbolic meaning, each representing a different aspect of Vishnu's power and the cosmic order he embodies.
Okay, you've definitely piqued my curiosity. Let's dive into this. Tell me more about these symbolic adornments and how they connect to the bigger picture.
Well, let's start with the Kaustupa gem. It's often depicted as a jewel of immense beauty and brilliance, worn by Vishnu.
I'm picturing something straight out of a cosmic treasure chest.
Exactly. But it's not just about aesthetics. The Kaustupa gem is said to represent pure, unconditioned consciousness, the divine essence that resides within all beings.
So it's like a symbol of our own inherent potential.
Precisely. And then you have the Srivatsa mark on Vishnu's chest. It's often described as a curl of hair or a lotus flower.
I've seen that in depictions of Vishnu. It's a very distinctive symbol.
Right, and it symbolizes auspiciousness, good fortune, and the inherent goodness and potential for growth that exists within all of creation.
I love how these seemingly simple adornments carry such profound meanings. It's like each one is a little window into a deeper understanding of the universe.
And we haven't even touched upon the weapons yet.
Okay, we're on the weapons. I'm ready to see how those tie into this cosmic puzzle.
Each of Vishnu's weapons is equally symbolic, representing different aspects of his power and his role in maintaining cosmic order. For example, there's the Sudarshana chakra, that iconic spinning disc of pure energy.
Oh yeah, the chakra. I've always been fascinated by that. It seems like such a powerful and dynamic symbol.
It is. And the Vishnu Purana associates it with the mind, specifically the purified and focused mind that can cut through ignorance and illusion.
So it's not just a weapon of destruction, it's a tool for enlightenment.
Exactly. It represents the power of discernment, the ability to see things clearly and to act with precision and clarity.
That's an empowering way to look at it. It makes you realize that we all have the potential to wield that kind of mental clarity.
And then you have the mace, or gada, which is often associated with knowledge and power.
The mace seems like a more straightforward symbol of strength. How does that connect to the idea of Vishnu as the source?
Well, the mace represents Vishnu's ability to uphold dharma, to maintain cosmic order, and to vanquish those forces that threaten that balance.
So it's not about brute force, but about using power wisely and justly.
Exactly. And finally, we have the conch shell, the shanka, which is often associated with sound and communication.
I've always thought of the conch shell as a beautiful and evocative instrument. How does it fit into this symbolic landscape?
It represents the primordial sound, the A, from which the universe is said to have emanated. It's a symbol of creation, of communication, and of the power of the divine word to shape reality.
Wow. It's incredible how much meaning is packed into these seemingly simple objects. I'm starting to see how every aspect of Vishnu, from his adornments to his weapons, reflects his role as the source of all things.
It's a reminder that everything, even the tools and instruments of the divine, is ultimately part of that same divine essence.
This is blowing my mind. It's like the Vishnu Purana is offering us a cosmic decoder ring, allowing us to see deeper layers of meaning in everything around us.
And that's just one of the many gifts that these ancient texts have to offer. They invite us to look beyond the surface, to explore the interconnectedness of all things, and to discover our own unique role in the grand cosmic dance.
Okay, I'm still reeling a little bit from all the symbolism we just unpacked.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Packed into Vishnu's wardrobe.
It is a lot to take in.
It is. It's like every detail in these stories is pointing us toward a deeper understanding of the universe.
Exactly. And that's what makes exploring these texts so rewarding. There's always another layer to uncover, another insight to ponder.
Speaking of insights, we've talked about Vishnu as the source of all things, this idea that everything emanates from him.
Right.
But how does that concept apply to the idea of good and evil? If everything comes from Vishnu, does that mean that evil is also part of the divine plan?
Yeah.
You know?
That's a question that has fascinated theologians and philosophers for centuries. And the Vishnu Purana offers a really interesting perspective. It doesn't shy away from acknowledging the presence of both good and evil in the universe, but it sees them as two sides of the same coin. essential components of this dynamic cosmic dance we've been discussing.
So it's not about one side ultimately conquering the other.
Not necessarily, no. It's more about maintaining a balance, a cosmic equilibrium.
Okay.
Remember those appointed rulers that we talked about earlier?
Mm-hmm.
Chandra, Kubera, Varuna. They each represent different forces and principles that must coexist in harmony for the universe to function.
Okay, so it's like a delicate ecosystem where even the bad guys play a role in maintaining the overall balance.
Exactly. It's like a cosmic tapestry, where each thread, even the dark ones, contribute to the overall beauty and complexity of the design.
That makes sense. But what about our role in all of this? Are we just passive observers in this cosmic dance, or do we have agency? Can we actually influence this balance?
That's where the concept of Dharma comes in again.
Okay.
It suggests that we're not just along for the ride, but active participants in this cosmic drama. Each of us has a unique role to play in upholding the cosmic order.
So it's not just about figuring out our own individual path, it's also about recognizing how our actions impact the world around us and ultimately contribute to the overall balance of the universe.
Precisely. It's about understanding that our choices have consequences, not just for ourselves, but for the entire web of existence.
That's both empowering and a little daunting.
It is, but the Vishnu Purana doesn't leave us hanging. It provides guidance on how to live in accordance with Dharma. It highlights virtues like righteousness, compassion, selflessness, and nonviolence.
This is like a roadmap for ethical living.
Exactly. And it's not just a list of rules. It's about cultivating a certain way of being in the world, an awareness of our interconnectedness, and a commitment to acting in ways that promote harmony and well-being.
It sounds like a lifelong practice, a continual process of refinement and growth.
You got it. And the beauty of it is that the journey itself is filled with meaning and purpose.
You know, it's incredible how the Vishnu Purana manages to weave together these epic tales of gods and demons with such profound philosophical insights. It's not just entertainment, it's a guidebook for living a more meaningful life.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into the Vishnu Purana, what's the key takeaway you hope our listeners will walk away with?
I think the most important message is this idea of interconnectedness. You know, it's the understanding that we're not isolated individuals, but integral threads in a vast and intricate tapestry woven together by a common divine source.
It's a humbling thought, but also incredibly inspiring. It makes you realize that even our smallest actions can ripple out and impact the world in ways we might never fully comprehend.
And it encourages us to live with a sense of reverence,
Yeah.
compassion, and responsibility, recognizing that we're all in this together.
It's like that saying, we're all just walking each other home.
Beautifully put. And I think that's a perfect note to end on. The Vishnu Purana reminds us that we're all on this journey together, and that the path to enlightenment is paved with compassion, understanding, and a deep appreciation for the interconnectedness of all things.
I don't know about you, but I'm feeling both energized and humbled by this exploration, and I'm definitely eager to keep learning and exploring the rich tapestry of Hindu mythology.
Me too. There's always more to discover.
Well, thank you for guiding us through this fascinating deep dive. It's been an incredible journey.
The pleasure was all mine. And to our listeners, thank you for joining us on this exploration. May your own journeys be filled with wonder and discovery.